It's a nice, lovely night here in Qatar. This is Premier Sim Gaming League's PlayStation Formula 2 division, brought to you by Sim Racing Centre and GT Omega. I'm your host, Otaku Logan, and I am alongside Mr. T-Dub.
Hello. Lovely to be back for round number 5 at Qatar. Everybody piling out of the pit straight away. My days. It's about 10 cars all coming out at once. But yes, we are here for round number 5. Last week was Lifebout Domination. Will we see something similar for the driver now in the RB? We'll have to wait and see. Everybody piling out straight away.
Yes, indeed. Hold on, I think. Just 1 second. I'm not getting a signal from the live stream. 1 second, please. Yeah, the page is not loading on my end. Oh, that's strange. It won't load up for me. Computers, eh? Anyway, yes, this is the Losail International Circuit that's been around for 20 years, but has only hosted F1 since 2021. And has been used every year since, except for the World Cup in 2022.
It has. It's had some good races, some less good races. Well, I say some. One less good race, one pretty good race. And hopefully we'll have a pretty good race tonight, although this is a track where the safety car is unlikely to pay a visit. And we've also got some very shiny curbs to deal with as well as we ride on board with a couple of drivers.
Well, of course, this track was given a renovation in 2023 to prepare for Formula 1. As you know, they did adjust some of the corners, most notably around here. And that is the Istanbul S Turn 8. Remember, the collisions are off, which means we're all like ghosted. When there's something strange in your neighbourhood, who are you going to call? Premier Sim Gaming Leagues.
Absolutely. Fraser in the Kick Sauber will be the first to set a flying lap. Track limits are going to be very important. You would imagine if you just push it a little bit too hard, those curbs can drag you off the circuit. And Fraser going through turns 4 and 5, one of the premier locations to exceed those track limits, but does it going down into 6. Gets the car rotated nicely.
Yes, just as we're going through this, I would just like to mention, as you may notice, Epic Vale is not here tonight. Unfortunately, he's not able to make an appearance tonight. So he's been replaced by Yanil, so no championship leader tonight. Unlike just like Sergioli, who's back this week, missed last week here in Canada. Now he is here to try and get those points back, with the absence of Epic Vale being the big story. We've got another few drivers as well here. We've got Santero 24 in the Aston Martin. We also have Manlike, who's been promoted from F4, now is in F2, driving the McLaren. And we also have pretty much almost every other driver there, just to speak. Fraser gets to the top with a 1:24.96, which is immediately overtaken by Lifebout with a 1:25.110, and then it's a 1:24.78 from Manlight. They're all starting to set the times.
Leonardo a little bit off the pace there, 20.9. Sergioli slotting into 3rd place even now. I imagine these times are going to be very, very close. As there's a Red Bull diving into the pits late. That is Francesconi, as the other Red Buller, Chris Rebel, now into the top 5 ahead of the 2 Williams cars.
May that DRS board rest in peace. As they are all crossing line, you may notice unlike the previous game, the finish line has been brought forward. Brought back in terms of this game. So it's now at the start of the pit lane. Yanil, our replacement driver for Epic Vale, a championship leader, has set the fastest time in the session, 1:20.433.
Only by 400th, though, ahead of Manlike, who has made an impression straight away in that Papaya McLaren car. Top 5 covered by 800ths of a second. 15 lap times on the border, though. Diogo Silva's 1:21.2, not entirely representative. Got Nassim in the Silver Arrow in the Mercedes, coming through turns 4 and 5. 4 drivers in the pits. I don't think we've seen Yasser Saki so far, as Nassim invalidates going through turn number 5. Finlay, Frank DeJourney and Lawrence, I imagine, returning after messing up their lap times.
Yeah, fun fact, before this track got renovated in 2023, the capacity of the track was 8,000. That's a big attendance compared to, say, Circuit of the Americas. You probably hit 150,000 on race day. It did have the biggest ever attendance in 2021, where 400,000 went to the biggest post-COVID event in Formula 1 until, of course, the other events happened, including the British Grand Prix, which got 450,000, and I was one of them. Although, to be fair, that was over 3 days, so I was counted 3 times.
It's a lot of people, though. A lot of people. Everybody returning to the pits. Nobody going for 2 flying laps in a row. The tyres probably just not going to be able to take with the load you're putting on them in that middle sector in particular. So the first runs, it is a Haas at the top of the timing charts, but it is Janil, the reserve, leading the way.
Yeah, 5 drivers still to time, most notably Finley, Yasser Saki, Frank Shorney, and Lawrence, who set pole position earlier in the season. And we seem to have lost T-Dub.
Oh, you're back, yes. I think we had a bit of connection issue there.
Oh dear. It's not on my end, no?
Well, we don't know, because I stopped talking for you and you stopped talking for me, so it's an interesting one, that.
So Finley starting his lap, and oh dear. I don't know what happened there. Is he just giving flatulence? Knowing this is the W15, I wouldn't be surprised. He's already went off. Just a trilogy of error there from Finley. Yasser Saki coming in through the first corner. You've got to be very careful on the outside of that first exit. If you go across the line, then that'll be an invalidation. Some of those rumble strips are wider than the car. The car is 2,000 millimeters in width, although it'll be 1.9 when we come into 2026. Which will be quite exciting. It means we're going to have more overtaking in Monaco. Yeah, right.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. These curves are interesting, though, because they are relatively flat. There's a bit of a serrated edge on the inside, but you can run all over it, and that can just lull you into a false sense of security, potentially, thinking you could use more of the curb than you actually can, and then you're over the white line, and then you're having your lap thrown in the nearest bin, as Finlay has found a couple of times.
Yes, Finley has found a couple of times, did you say?
Oh, Yasusaki's done it as well.
Oh, no. In the red zone again.
Turn 15, turn 15. Went straight across the inside curb, slam dunk, and probably going to jump back into the pits. No, going to go again, but has absolutely no battery left whatsoever.
Oh, dear.
It was a 20.5, though, so pretty competitive. Not going to count, unfortunately.
Fortunately, it would have been around fifth or sixth. That was the case. As you can see, we have Lawrence about set at a time, and it's good for 6th. 120.600. 6 hundredths faster than Chris Rebel in 7th. Yeah, what was I going to say again? The car, oh dear. One of our Qatar Airways hoardings gone, courtesy of Frank Shorney, as it starts to be more flatulence. I've noticed that a lot of the game after the update.
Yeah, definitely. A lot more particles. Zane coming up towards turn 4 and 5. Missing the regular Aston Martin. Jan, currently 3rd in the championship. Had a very good run last week, but not present this week, so another big name. It's a free run, really, for Sergioli to try and take a big dent out of Epic Vale's championship lead and leave a couple of the other drivers in their wake. Yassis, Saki, Finlay, ASRT, Christian all here, but Sergioli, you would imagine the favourite out of that group.
What I've noticed, there's a lot of trees in this entire vicinity. It's incredible to see how many trees. You don't think you'd have trees considering we're in the middle of a blooming desert. You can see
a good point.
Yeah, all the trees nice and clear. I don't think you'd see them up that clear if it was real world. I think the lighting's being taken a bit too seriously. Seeing coming through the final 2 corners of this wicked sector, literally defying gravity at that rate. But here he comes in the number 97. Going on the outside, very outside of the track, and it's only good for 9th. You see, it's very close.
Yeah, only a couple of tenths off the benchmark pace. That is now down to 10th as the Ferrari of ASRT Christian jumps up into 7th. A lot of drivers pitting, so making mistakes on their second flying lap. Sergioli, Fraser doing that. Man like Janil as well. A lot of the big guns at the top of the timing charts messing up their second attempt. McKillen with an improvement, but that was only just inside the top 10. Now bumped down into 12th. Still waiting on a competitive lap from Diogo Silva. And the 4 that are yet to get a time on the board.
Yeah, 10 down, 8 to go in terms of minutes in this session. But as I was going to say, think I forgot what to say. Evening to Mr. James Head. Man like goat, says Jeff Barron. Sergio Oli is the prediction for James Head to get both pole and the W tonight. And George is playing Black Ops because his pedals died. May rest in peace. Unfortunately, I can't come to the funeral of your pedals, but I wish you a lot of condolences. Very sad when your pedals die, of course. I know mine pedals died. I couldn't stop crying for about 10 weeks.
Yeah, not good at all. Who's on a lap? Diogo Silva up by just under a tenth of a second through the first sector. Nassim in the final sector in that Mercedes has shown some decent flashes of pace in the couple of times we have seen Nassim so far. Where can that silver arrow be put? The other silver arrow without a time either, so not going well for Mercedes at the moment. Bit of a lock-up into the final corner. Bit of a wobble as well on the exit, very nearly exceeding track limits over on the outside. What is the time as we cut the beam? Position number 8 with a 20.5, just over a tenth off the outright pace, and that gets you only 8th position.
Yeah, it's that's our reserve, by the way. And you should take notice, in fact, he's 1 thousandth ahead of Evan and 2 thousandths behind Christian. Fine margins. Yep, unbelievable indeed.
Diogo Silva in the McLaren up to the line. Teammate currently holding second. Diogo Silva 16th on a 20.9. Only 4 tenths off Janil's pace, but being 16th and under half a second off the.
Tell you what, take a look at Manlike. He's second already in his debut. Oh, and then he does that. That was not a commentator's curse. I didn't suggest anything. He had already set his time. As you can see, they're actually going onto the wrong road. That's to the short circuit, as we call it. Maybe they could use that if one of the races get cancelled. The Losail Grand Prix, anyone? If suddenly they can't have Saudi Arabia because Jeddah's just too narrow. Well, after all, we did have to see the Barcelona Grand Prix come in when Valencia, of course, we sympathise with the people in Valencia, had to be cancelled, and they had the finale. By the way, MotoGP's new logo, they ripped off F1 Manager. I mean, if they didn't, then I would have liked it, but they've removed the checkered flag motif of what I called it, or whatever. You know, the one that resembles the trophy slabs that they put the name on, which I love, by the way. I love that they get to put the slab of their name and year they won the title on. Jorge Martin, what a guy as well. He driven for an independent team as well, or ridden, I should say, ridden. Brilliant for the sport.
Couple of lap times to update you on as well. Leonardo off the bottom of the charts went 11th on a 20.6, now 12th as Finlay has finally managed to get a lap in at the third time of asking, I believe. It's a 20.499, slotting just inside the top 5 there. And the other Mercedes of Nassim has just been bumped down into 10th because ASRT Christian has gone again. Chris Rebel, has had a big improvement up into 6th.
Yeah, I was on board with Fryanek, but that apparently seems to be a in-lap. Is Yasser Saki on a lap? I think so. He's trying to ooze everything out of that car. Still got the battery on. This should be good enough. He's going to get a time on the board, but it's only 15th fastest. Needs to get up there, and if only 4 minutes to go, he's very short on time. I don't think he's going to make it, actually. 1 minute 20, 2 minutes 40. It'll be close. It'll be very close.
Yasser Saki in 15th is a quarter of a second off the provisional pole time. 15th, and you're a quarter of a second off pole.
It just shows that the standard is insane. You don't get this in the real Formula One, folks, because of how variable the cars can be, unless you're Max Verstappen, of course, as we saw in that amazing drive in Sao Paulo, one of the greatest drives. I'd say it's better than 2021 by Lewis Hamilton, because he had an extra third of the race as we have 2 new fastest laps. Zane got there, and just after him, Evan Nye, edging them by thousandths of a second, by the way, Yanil's time.
This is unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen a qualifying session as close as this.
Less than 100th of a second separate the top three. Less than 100th!
That's going to be... it's going to be their qualifying over. They're not going to get back around to set another lap time. The top 10 are covered by 85 milliseconds.
Oh, gosh. Anyone
top 10 within a tenth.
Anyone want to review the footage of all this so we can check the times are accurate?
Oh, I do not want to be that person.
Looks at Michael Massey.
Who's out there? We've got 2.5 minutes to go. I think Janil is the furthest round the track. You can see that coming back to the pits are even Nye and TRT Zane behind. Williams on track is Janil, who I think is going to be... Yeah, I think it is going to be Janil first over the line. Actually, no, it's going to be Nordic Ninja, actually. 17th in the Williams, coming up to the line now.
Yeah, he's underway. He nearly not made the session tonight, but he got there with 2 minutes left in the session now. And he approaches turn numero uno. Long hairpin. Medium speed, and then another medium hairpin, I would say. And Zane, of course, can't set another lap. That's why he's retired from the session. The start reminds me of Bahrain, but longer and tighter turns. He didn't cut the corner there somehow, as he makes it round the two right-angled corners for the tightest corner here. It is a very good first sector as well. So coming into another... There's a lot of 180-degree turns, all in varying radius. Before he goes right through this corner, and then another hairpin. Well, not really a hairpin, but very wide, obtuse turn, I must say. A cute turn, not
still
obtuse.
finding time. Still finding time. A quarter of a second. Oh, that was very close though from Nordic Ninja, putting everything on the table. This could be a huge improvement position-wise.
His teammate got within 7 thousandths. How close is Nordic Ninja, or better? Let's find out. Coming to the final corner, using every edge off this track. Only P11. It just shows that now they're 11 times within the 100. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm lost for words.
Janil's up by a tenth, by the way, through the first couple of sectors.
Oh my word. I was about to say, the top 11 within 1/10 of a second. Oh my goodness, he nearly lost it coming out of the final corner. Oh! He improves by more than a tenth. And now, all of a sudden, the gap's got bigger, but still, 10 drivers within that same tenth. That is nuts. But that's going to change because here comes Sergioli. He only gets second. He's 15 thousandths down. Still a Haas 1-2, by the way.
Man like into fourth. Coolman set exactly the same time as he did on his previous lap, remaining in sixth.
Gotta be kidding me. What are the odds? 1 in 100,000?
Leonardo's to third.
Leonardo's driven off the track. Lifeboat to third. But what about Fraser in the kick? Sauber. Can't improve. Santero can't improve. Lawrence improves by a tenth, 100th down from the Haas's. No, Ninjas run out of fuel.
Who's left? Finlay around the final corner.
See, can Finlay crack the top? No, but he goes to fifth. Look at how close fourth to eighth are.
Oh my goodness.
And Chris Rebel nearly gets that close. Christian gets up there to fourth.
I think that's us
My
done.
word, I think that no, Coleman's still got no, he's invalidated. That's it. That is it. Yanil on super sub duty is on pole position.
That might be the closest qualifying session I've ever seen. It wasn't quite as close as it was a few minutes ago, but what's that? Top 10 covered by just over a tenth and a half. Top 5 covered by, well, top 5 not a very good example. Top 4 covered by a third of a tenth of a second. The whole field covered by under half a second, with the exception of Francis, the one who didn't get a lap in. If you're someone like Leonardo or Yasir Saki, you're going to be feeling incredibly hard done by Nassim as well.
T-Dub, sorry, quick. 125, 130, 132, 133, 139, 162 off, and then there's 203, 204, 224, 262, 277. It's nuts! They're all so close together. But it is a Haas 1 front row to start this race here in Qatar. We're going to be taking a break for this. I should mention Frank Giasciani was the only driver not to set a time, therefore he will start at the very back of the grid.
Absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. Nassim, who was 15th, was less than 0.3 of a second off pole.
Which in other divisions would probably be like P5 or better. This is not the start, folks. This is just a procedural thing. Instead of leaving the session, you just crash your car out of the race and then we just reset the grid. But Haas 1-2, this is the inverse of 2021 when they always got no points. Thanks, Nikita.
Different drivers, still Haas dominance though. Last week was the exception, only in 9th place for Epic Vale after a post-race 5-second penalty. Do not be concerned, this is the faux start, everybody. Chris with a drive-through. We've got to ram it down though.
Oh yeah, fair enough. And they're all spinning right round like a record. Of course, they can't crash into each other because the collisions are off. That's why we can't race.
Oh, I saw a lovely drift from someone. I think it was the Aston Martin Christian. Of Santero.
Christian just whammed it into the wall. This is no longer okay. But you know what I mean. It could be used as a practice start, to be fair. So they kind of wasted a bit of time.
Who won the faux start? Will the winner of the faux start be the winner of the real start? If it can load, it's a McLaren, so it's possible.
Possible. It's P8 though. He was P2 earlier, but of course the variance of qualifying has stirred up a grid. As you can see, if you can decipher, look at the grid, not the actual position of the race, please. Of course, Christian Sergioli, Italian with Italian engines, pass our Ferrari, and of course Kick Sauber as well as Ferrari engines, but not in 2026. They'll of course be Audi, so they'll be German. I still can't believe Honda's being partnered with Aston Martin. Of course, they don't do their own engines; they usually do Mercedes, but they're doing Honda, and yet Honda doesn't have their own works team returning, or Ford, by that matter. Just
strategic partnership.
VCarb, just give your team up to Honda and make them the Honda Works team and bring back the Turkey 2021 livery. That'd be sick.
That was good.
To be fair though, in MotoGP they have something similar to VCarb. So, but it's much more structured, of course. They have their independent teams and they have their works teams, so it makes sense, but it's much more confusing when in this sport we see them all as equals and on the same level. Well, they are on the same level in the other division, but you know what I mean. There's all like divisions in that.
Absolutely.
There's like they've got several different teams, whereas in Formula One they're all supposed to be like they're a different entity, except if you're Red Bull or Honda in 2006 or 2008 with Super Aguri. They're basically the B team.
Or 07 and 08, they were arguably faster than Honda. Well, maybe not 08 because they only did 4 races. But...
yeah, 07 definitely, which is nuts. Long live Takuma Sato. I know Barrichello didn't score that season.
Yeah, I think it was Button that got all of Honda's
F1
points
in 2007 needs a long good look because it was a brilliant season. There was only 17 races that season because there was no Imola. Imola left after 2006. Engine development was frozen from the 2006 Grand Prix as well. And they had new tyres, the Bridgestone tyres, because Michelin pulled out. They had lines, white stripes on the soft tyres. The harder tyres had no line, which was interesting. Although they should be doing it on the side, it just looks better.
Shall we Do you want to talk about a couple of sponsors though? While we've got a
Oh
little
yeah,
interlude.
you usually talk about the sponsors. It's your job.
Oh well. First off, GTO Mega. If you want to head over there, want to get your hands on the best sim racing equipment in the business, and use the code PSGL at checkout, you will get 5%. These are the wrong number. 5% off their services, and also Sim Racing Centre SRC. If you want some setups or some coaching from some special drivers, we won't necessarily name them just yet. Head over there, use the same code PSGL, and you can get yourself 10% off.
Yeah. And if you'd like to be a contestant on Countdown, well, you come to the wrong place. If you know, you know. Jess definitely knows. But just watch the episodes from Countdown from last week. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely, yes. I'm sure you enjoyed that. Would you like to hear some very interesting news that I have just seen?
Uh-oh. I'm getting sacked in the morning.
I Show Speed has announced he'll be running the 100 metres in the 2028 Olympic Games.
That's not surprising. I Show Speed's known for doing crazy things. If he wins, it'll be the biggest underdog story since Niki Lauda, because he was a paid driver. To be fair, I was going to say something else, but then I'd probably get done for even though I tried political satire. Donald. But yeah, if you know what I mean. What? McDonald's?
We don't talk about that.
Oh. Fair enough.
Are we getting ready to go?
Eventually. Oh, we've lost one. I think I know who it is. It's Nordic. No, it's not. Who have we lost?
Is it?
It's the other Alpine driver.
It's Yasir Saki, yeah.
What? Can't invite players because this game group is closed. LOL! Yasir Saki is... No way! Yasir Saki has left the session.
Apparently he lagged out.
Yeah, I think I may have to go back and do the session again. Yeah, I can't invite players because this game group is closed. Yeah, we're gonna have to do another.
Oh, hang on, wait. Because there's still.
No, I think I may have to do another lobby. Oh dear. Yeah, that sucks. You lobby guys, we're gonna be taking a break and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Bye.